I'm Megan Andrews, and this is my education story. I was accepted to a four-year college in my senior year of high school, but I had no idea how student loans worked. Even though I was offered a really good scholarship, I didn't have enough knowledge about student loans to know how to go to my dream school. So I opted to go to the local community college instead. As is often the case when you go to school in your hometown, life just sort of happened. I took classes at the community college for 4 years. Along the way, I got married. I worked full time, and I finally earned an associate's degree, but I had no idea what I wanted to do from there, so I stopped going to school. Pretty soon, I was expecting my first baby. I loved being a mom, and going back to school was a very long way from being on my mind. Not long after my daughter was born, my husband joined the Army. He went away to basic training, and pretty soon we found ourselves moving to a new adventure in North Carolina. While we were there, he worked, and I stayed home. After 2 years of living in North Carolina, I had another baby, this time a little boy. In the time we were in North Carolina, things got pretty bad between us. We tried to work through our issues, but we couldn't seem to make things work. Eventually, I realized I needed to leave the marriage, and I knew school and student loans were my best option. I moved back to California and went back to school as a single parent. I took out loans. I relied on the support of family and friends to keep me going through some very tough times, and I finished a bachelor's degree in English in 2 years, graduating with honors at age 30. I thought school would be the hardest part of my venture into being a single parent, but I was wrong. I couldn't find work after I graduated, and I had no insurance or child support. I had no way to support us. I ended up needing to apply for welfare to get us through. Not too long after starting on welfare, I applied for a job as a substitute teacher. I was offered an opportunity to interview for a full-time position, and I was hired after my first interview. Back to school I went. I earned my teaching credential over the next 2 years while working full-time and raising 2 kids. Eventually I remarried, and we became part of a blended family. Together we had another child, who took our family of 6 to a family of 7, and who made me realize that I needed to earn a master's degree to help support our family and to keep us moving forward. I decided to go back to school for a master's degree when I started my 10th year of teaching, and my youngest child headed off to kindergarten. I wanted to explore new ideas in education and expand my role beyond that of a teacher in a classroom. After spending 10 years in the classroom, I was hired as an administrator, which is my current role in education. In 10 years, I went from a single mom on welfare to a successful administrator, and a life that's better than any I could have imagined for myself. None of it would have been possible without the educational choices I made along the way.